come out better in dealing with the Soviet Union if I'm consistently and completely dedicated to the enhancement of human rights, not only as it deals with the Soviet Union, but all other countries. And I think that this can legitimately be severed from our inclination to work with the Soviet Union, for instance, in reducing dependence upon atomic weapons, and also in seeking mutual and balanced force reductions in Europe. I don't want the two to be tied together. I think the previous administration under Secretary Kissinger thought that there ought to be this linkage, that if you mention human rights, or if you fail to invite Mr. Solzhenitsyn to the White House, that you might endanger the progress of the SALT talks. I don't feel that way. I think it ought to be clear, and I have made clear directly in communication to Mr. Brezhnev and in my meeting with Ambassador Dobrynin that I was reserving the right to speak out strongly and forcefully whenever human rights are threatened, not every instance, but when I think it's advisable. This is not intended as a public relations attack on the Soviet Union, and I would hope that their leaders could recognize the American people's deep concern about human rights. I think in many other countries of the world, there has been some progress. I think in the Soviet Union, there has already been some progress. The number of Jews, for instance, who have been permitted to immigrate from the Soviet Union in the last few months has increased. If this trend should continue, I would be encouraged. But I would have to take this position of being independent in my own public pronouncements. And I regret the fact that the Soviet Union saw fit to expel a newspaper reporter, and I regret very deeply the fact that the Soviet Union has now incarcerated Mr. Ginsburg, who has been the leader, one of the leaders in the Soviet Union and representing the case of the dissidents. But I can't go in with armed forces and try to change the internal mechanism of the Soviet government. But I don't think it's designed to aggravate me or to test the will of this country.